And here we are, game number 2 between Soul and DMC, spawning in the top left corner as our orange Protoss player from Vega Squadron. It is DMC. And DMC really has to step it up a little bit, scout a little bit better, because in the last game the mech transition of Soul just obliterated the army of DMC. Soul is going to be the pink Terran player who has spawned in the bottom right hand corner. He is of course playing for Team Fnatic, a recent pickup, and he should be very happy with that. Fnatic is a very good team, has some very good players, and Soul should also be very happy with the buff to the Widowmine and the, of course, the nerf of the Time Warp that has had a pretty big impact on the performance in PvT, of course. But that is not going to be the entire game, of course. But that was a very funky strategy from Soul, and well, Soul's got DMC's number. That is pretty apparent right now. Will he go for that command center first? Wouldn't be surprised to see so. Yeah, he is going to go for a command center first once again. He knows that DMC is not scouting very early on in the game, so why not? DMC is once again opening up very standard, getting that gateway, and he will put down the cybernetics core around this area, maybe on the other side, because it does not fit between it. Just a little bit too little space right there. But everything is still looking pretty normal. Command center has been placed by Soul, especially on this map. You can usually get away with it pretty nicely. And the barracks for Soul should be added on very soon. I would not expect any deviation from the last opening that he did on Overgrowth. Going for the second barracks, going into double gas behind that, and the tech lab and the reactor first into the factory. Now in the base of DMC, he has chosen to open up with only one gas geyser right now, so he will be able to get that command the next at the natural base pretty fast. But this area at the natural base, that it is just a frenzy for Terran drops, and we have seen that time and time again. It is a little bit out of the route. The army of the Protoss is usually out of position, so you really need to defend with photon cannons, photon overcharge, whatever you may need. Even some units left behind in that corner can be pretty detrimental in holding those attacks. But the command center is going to be done now for Soul. He will turn it into an orbital command, of course, instantly. And the first barracks is done to get some units going. Oh, is he really going to go into a third command center right now? Yeah, he is. Wow, he is playing this so greedy. 3 command centers against the Protoss before the 5-minute mark, before even starting his first Marine. This is extremely greedy play from Soul. And DMC did go. He also went for a pretty greedy play, but he might not even be able to deny the scout from DMC. He has a Marine out already, but with a little bit of, well, you do need a little bit of micro on your Marine. So let's see if he's paying attention. The bunker is going to be done in no time, and the probe is trying to sneak in. He only knows the position right now, but he has no idea what his opponent really went for. Is he going to try and get a Stargate going now? I would not be surprised to see something like that. And I would really love that, because in this scenario, there's definitely not going to be enough units out for any form of harassment. So a third Nexus has also been dropped down at the 540 minute mark for DMC. Without scouting anything. Yeah, he did see that there's only one Marine out, so that might give it away already for DMC. That's why he's playing greedy now too. And he also has not seen a single scout from Soul. Well, he did see a single scout from Soul, but I do believe that unit was killed off. Let's have a look. Yeah, the SCV was picked off. The Mothership Core rocking the first kill of today. But the third base will be able to be saturated quite fast. Do we already have tech coming down? No, so far it's only 3 gateways. Other than that, nothing. A little bit of supply block, but he's still producing probes. It's not the biggest of deals. Also, Pylon will be placed right now. And Soul really being careful with oracles that are definitely a threat to the build, to the opening that he went for. So he's going to go and get his missile turret going in all of his bases. And he's going to have a very fine income with those triple SEV production and the triple mule cooldown. But not knowing about that third base can also be pretty tricky. Are we just going to see a bunch of gateways drop down? No gas have been taken at the natural even. This can just be a very heavy gateway attack, but I'm not quite sure how I like that. It should be hitting very fast in case it is. And Warp Get Research, of course, already done for quite some time at the 750-minute mark. So let's see. 5 gateways currently in production. He is just starting a gateway frenzy. How many gateways is that? That is just insane. He's going up to 11 gateways right now. He is on 51 probes and he is going to be able to warp in so many units right now. One Marine is checking the front, but I don't think that Soul is going to have enough units to really hold this. 11 gateways of production is insane to have. And as long as DMC does not get supply blocked overly much, he is going to be in great shape, and he needs to go for the attack very soon. Yet he seems to be very hesitant of this too. Let's see if he wants to bring the Mother's Core, or if he will keep it at home for the defense that he does need in case there is a drop flying in his base. Like literally in this match, there's really a lack of scouting. There was one bunker spotted, and what has Soul seen? He's seen that there's one gateway, a nexus, and a simulator, and 2 pylons. Other than that, he does not know anything. So DMC is now going to move out. There is a probe on the other side of the map. The pylon is going to be dropped down. Is this going to be spotted by Soul? No, not just yet. Even the rocks were closed out, and that choke would have been amazing if he could hold that. Losing that third base, it can happen because, well, there's not going to be a whole lot of advantages. But this is a lot of units from DMC. The bunker is not going to go up anytime soon. He's retreating towards the high ground, towards his main base. But this is going to drop like a hammer. 2 Marauders inside that bunker. Not a lot of surface area for those SCVs to repair it. Will fall in no time, and the supplies of Soul are plummeting. 11 gateways of production is so much production. There is stim on these units, but there's not going to be a whole lot of upgrades, and there are hardly any units anymore. Army supply 50 against 27. That is not enough for Soul to hold this attack. And warp in after warp in, that is so many units coming down. Third base has pretty much been sacked. Soul is trying to hold this in his chokes. Will he be possible? There are so many sentries, so many stalkers here. Where does he get the gas? Because he's only operating off of 2 gas geysers. He has just used his first minerals to just get a lot of gateways. He's going to lose his factory, resetting the attack just a little bit. Also that medevac, well, still going to be a band-aid to a bullet wound, to say something like that. The SCVs are trying to help fight, but there's going to be the GG, and DMC takes game number 1, forcing this to an ace match, game number 3.